the hell do you think you're doing? Dragging your butt through the day, selling body and soul to a bunch of bland normals? Acting stupid so they'll think you're one of them?
Video sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Also see us at MomoCon this May. More info pinned on my Twitter.
Have you ever wondered about your neighbors?
It's the Church of the SubGenius. Their prophet's name is Bob.
Yetis, fake religious organizations, and several lost video games. I was gonna talk about a certain title in my strange, colorful Game Boy Advance video, but researching that led me down a rabbit hole, one big enough for its own video, i.e. this one you're listening to in the background. I put a lot of effort into the visuals too, you know. Much of my info will be sourced from the Bad Game Hall of Fame website as they go into far more detail, but submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, this is the Church of the SubGenius and its lost video games.
I found an image of Bob's head in a bedpan.
Hey, Bob!
If Jim Jones could talk 900 people into killing themselves, we could talk 900 people into sending us $1.
Tired of getting all of the guilt, but none of the sex? There is a simple answer, dear friend. A glowing beacon of slack amidst the turmoil and darkness. It's J.R. Bob Dobbs, the living slack master, and his Church of the SubGenius.
The SubGenius. Similar to the Flying Spaghetti Monster, this was a sort of joke religion that some people may have participated in without realizing it was a joke. Whoops! Established in 1979, this was all just, hey, you know what would be funny? If we pull some Jim Jones stuff, but much less horrible. Followers of the SubGenius worship J.R. Bob Dobbs, a 50s salesman who never existed and was merely a stock image anyone could use. They jokingly believed we evolved from Yetis, and to reach true enlightenment, you must quit your job and slack off all day. How the SubGenius got followers was by releasing pamphlets that requested money to join. Embracing weirdos is what it was all about while they rejected anything normal. For those aware of the joke, I guess it was a sort of fandom of wild artists while they participated in the lore, kinda like LARPing. They offered eternal salvation or triple your money back. Notable members include Pee Wee Herman, Robert Crumb, Nick Offerman, and Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo. You may notice the religion's influence if you look hard enough. Church co-founder / Reverend Ivan Stang described it as a meme before memes. Like the image of Bob was printed on the disc for Sublime's album, 40 Ounces of Freedom. Talk show host David Letterman had Bob's face etched onto one of his sets. Oh, and Powerpuff Girls creator Craig McCracken confirmed this in a Twitter post. You know Professor Utonium, the trio's father? Well, he was inspired by both Pierce Bronson in Mars Attacks and J.R. Bob Dobbs. The cult's influence was so viral that in 1991, MTV gave the church $15,000 to make a minute-long channel bumper. They were free to film anything so long as the MTV logo was featured within. Reverend Ivan Stang chose to make it an ad for the SubGenius.
Bob brings a new destiny for the abnormal. For Bob comes to justify our sins, to unmask the conspiracy, and to get us back the slack they stole away. It's us versus them. Are you gonna fry in hell on earth alongside the pink boys? Or will you pull the wool over your own eyes and accept Bob into your mind? Repent, quit your job, slack off, and praise Bob!
Church of the SubGenius, eternal salvation or triple your money back.
While they peaked decades ago, to this day the church is still active on their website, subgenius.com. If you'd like to know more about the group and how it all kind of spiraled out of control, check out the 2019 documentary J.R. Bob Dobbs in the Church of the SubGenius. I was able to watch it legally and for free on Tubi, which honestly is the most appropriate streaming service for this cult. Tubi is like the damn bargain bin mystery bag of streaming services. I mean that in the best way. Look at this, the Spanish dub of Hellswick. Hell yeah. This ain't an ad, I just appreciate Tubi that much. But anyway, let's talk about the games that spawned from all this.
I spoken other than? For my every utterance is a lie, including this very one you hear.
I am the last remaining Homo erectus. I am a goddamn man of the future.
I'm 23 feet tall and I have 13 rows of teeth.
Among the many followers of Bob, some of them founded the studio Run and Gun Moving Pictures in 1993, a Chicago-based multimedia team whose work isn't well archived. Apparently they've shot footage, made websites, and did shockwave games for Nickelodeon, MTV, Sony Music, and the band Devo. Also a music video for the Foo Fighters' I'll Stick Around. They've also worked on several lost virtual reality tech demos in the 90s, one of them being a bungee jumping simulator called Bung Ho. No footage can be found currently, but it was playable on the Victor Max Stuntmaster VR headset, the first consumer-grade headset you can buy for your home, and it shows. Normally, a VR headset should have two screens for each eye, both displaying an image at a slightly different angle, giving a 3D effect, but not the Victor Max. It's just one screen latched to your face. Oh, and are you expecting motion controls? Yeah, too expensive. Their solution to track the direction of your head? A really long stick that rubs up against your shoulders.
Now this little thing on the side here rotates left and right, and that's the left and right direction on your directional pad on whatever controller you're using, whether it be the Sega Genesis controller or the Super Nintendo controller. And when I hook it up to my belt, I can move natively and actually have left and right control like it was meant to be. Still stupid, but this way does work.
Yeah, Shane from Rerez here doesn't have the original stick, but anyway, Run and Gun's VR games are probably still out there somewhere, though they did make other titles. Trust me, it only gets much crazier from here.
Man, how do you get so good?
When it comes down to video games, baby, I'm the best.
Duelin Firemen dancing around. Flames is licking Ohio and Ohio. Duelin Firemen. Duelin Firemen.
Around 1994 is when Run and Gun planned their magnum opus, Duelin Firemen, a game using live-action actors, some of which were part of the SubGenius. This includes the Reverend Ivan Stang. It was an all-star cast of followers, comedians, musicians, and just random people like Timothy Leary, a psychologist who advocates for psychedelic drugs. Also to appear briefly was a pre-Pro Skater Games Tony Hawk, who was friends with an employee from the studio.
Tony Hawk! You got a little piece of chicken on your face.
Say what? That's out of the saucer business. Ain't that the truth?
But the leading man was to be 70s blaxploitation star of Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore, as a firefighter during the second Great Chicago Fire. Yes, there was a first one.
Starring Rudy Ray Moore.
City at night. It's a thing of beauty.
And it makes me want to move my booty.
Okay, I warn you, if you're sensitive to unintentional 9/11 imagery, skip to this part in the video. Because yowzers, this is a pretty big unintentional Kim Jong. Oof. Yeah. Did you skip yet? The plot takes us to the future year of 1999, in which both Air Force One and a space shuttle simultaneously crash into the Sears Tower? Oh my god, no! What the heck? Oh my god! This crash rains fire throughout the city. Everything is in flames and there's no stopping it. Your goal as a firefighter is not to put out the blazes, but instead entertain the civilians hiding away in safe houses that will also burn. You're not a hero. You're just here to party till everything is incinerated. Jeez, damn. It's like the 9/11 equivalent to the day the clown cried. Oh my god. Gameplay, from what I understand, consists of choose your own adventure, dialogue choices, and mini-games, I think? Oh, and to advertise the 1994 release, a promotional vinyl record was given out featuring a song called Epic Epileptic Apocalypse. It's less of a song and more like an Applebee's sampler platter of random beats shoved up the same intestinal tract. Duelin Duelin Firemen sounded completely insane and was truly infused with Bob's slacker spirit. There were updates about it on the SubGenius official site, but it was never released. The game was planned for the short-lived 3DO console, which was discontinued during Fireman's development. For years, Run and Gun was trying to get the game finished for other systems, but just needed the proper funding. And maybe they got just that in our next game.
Featuring appearances by Timothy Leary, Mark Mothersbaugh, Steve Albini, David Yao, Lee Groban, Tony Gold. Duelin Firemen, it's the barbecue flavor of the future!
We'll be back with more Lost Games after these messages.
The Simpsons is brought to you by 3DO, the most advanced home gaming system in the universe. What are you playing with?
Are you tired of this happening, especially around the holidays? Well, you need Surfshark VPN. Yes, sir, the sponsor of tonight's video. What's a VPN? It's great. It changes your internet region and protects your privacy. You got Netflix? Just switch regions and bam, you can see what other countries have on their Netflix. It's that easy. How about something to keep you safe, especially on public Wi-Fi? Nothing can stop you. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off with 3 extra months. Don't like that? You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, what? You got an incognito window on your browser? Wow, that's completely useless. Surfshark VPN, it's got clean web. This thing will block malicious ads, trackers, and malware. Don't trust an internet provider, trust Surfshark VPN. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off with 3 extra months. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. VPN.
What's your name and who's your daddy, baby?
We're not alone, I sure don't mean maybe.
What you talking about, sister? You feel an alien presence?
I think they're probing my mind and permutating the contents.
You mean right now there?
In 1996, Run and Gun actually released a game, Wild. It's Wild Ride Surf Shack on PC, a freeware title which is basically a demo that if you liked, you can buy the full thing digitally. Apparently it struggles to run on any computers past Y2K. There's barely any working footage of this thing that isn't blasting at 800 frames per second. Run and Gun's site claims it sold well, but to truly make money in the 90s gaming scene, it needed a physical release. That's when Interplay stepped in. The studio that gave you Fallout 1, Earthworm Jim, and Battle Chess was going to help them get Wild Ride into retail stores. Interplay also announced they'll help fund Run and Gun's next game, Wicked Surfing for Game Boy Color. Another sports title, this time with a sponsorship by Vans Clothing. Well, that all sounds very promising with Gun's website thanking Bob to high heavens. But much like anything making me happy, it wasn't meant to last. Interplay themselves was struggling financially and was unable to support these games. Meanwhile, Run and Gun wasn't able to do much after these strings of failures. One of the few releases they did get into stores was a Game Boy Color title based on Animorphs. They turned those books about kids turning into animals into a Pokemon clone. Look at this. It is straight up just Pokemon, except you transform into your fighting creature. This one title was not enough to save the company, and they still have yet to finish Duelin Firemen. Despite their struggles to get it on other systems throughout the 90s, talks of Fireman's development seems to have disappeared after the 2000s. I wonder why. But you know what's crazy? As recent as 2021, more footage has leaked, including what's called the Sundance Film Festival trailer. And no, that's just a joke. This was never planned for Sundance, but it really should have.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Featuring
We eat nothing.
Mark Mothersbaugh, Timothy Leary.
You think you know what I'm talking about, but you and I know that they don't know.
Tycoon.
I'm still hoping one day Dueling Firemen could be released. It's not too far-fetched, actually. Just look at the game American Hero. This was another live-action FMV game that was cancelled after the console it was built for, the Atari Jaguar, was discontinued in 1996. American Hero was never released.
Listen, run, listen, run, listen, Run.
Until 25 years later for the PS4, Switch, Xbox, and GOG, whatever that is. Yeah, this game finally released. Maybe the same could happen to Duelin Firemen. I got my fingers crossed and tubes tied for that. So anyway, what became of Run and Gun? Well, around the year 2000, their website was blacked out with the promise to return, which they did not. After all the failed projects, so ended the studio. But the team stuck around and started fresh with a new place of work, Cave Barn Studios. This new venture had more luck producing crummy, play-it-safe license games based on Tom and Jerry or BattleBots, but they wanted something they can call their own, one that could live up to the crazy image of J.R. Bob Dobbs. That's where they announced Urban Yeti.
What's that crazy sound? It's Urban Yeti for Game Boy Advance. Get your own.
A game so insane and so screwed over by its publisher that I gotta save it for a separate video. Mainly because I'm contractually obligated to finish one vid per month and I ran out of time. Sorry. So, get ready for another upcoming strange, colorful Game Boy Advance games vid. What GBA game should I cover next? Put it down below. Forgive me, Bob.
Call 1-877-GET-YETI or visit urbanyeti.com to order now. Urban Yeti for Nintendo Game Boy Advance. Only $29.99. Quantities are limited, so don't miss out.
Good morning, Dolly. What, Dolly? I have syrup on my face?
I'll get syrup on your face.
Thank you, Dolly. Look how many we have. You like another bite? They're so yummy. And we have all Jaeger to ourselves. Dolly, 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 Dolly.
Get away from my Eggo!
Look, Dolly, a chipmunk.
Eggo waffles are part of this complete breakfast. They're so fluffy and golden, you just can't.
On the next South Park Monster Suck Rally, 10 Pokemon brings the madness to South Park.